Do you see what Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is. Well, you know what Joe Biden could do? Joe Biden, you have to see it because it's so
on TV.
crazy.
She said
on television.
Joe Rogan went off on Whoopi Goldberg and The View and the ridiculous things that they have been saying on that show. Joe Rogan has been absolutely on fire recently with the guests that he's bringing on the Joe Rogan Experience, as well as just the opinions that he's stating that I believe Joe Rogan has actually been thinking for a while. He's been holding these opinions for a long time. You know, he used to be a hardcore liberal. Him and people like Russell Brand and the other people who used to be hardcore liberals are just coming over to our side now because it's just the people on the liberal side, they don't have a home over there anymore if you have any sort of common sense. And that's what Joe Rogan is saying. It's like, I've been thinking these same beliefs for a long time, but you guys have gone so far left that I have no home now in the liberal camp. Like, there's just no home for me. And Joe Rogan has been absolutely on fire with the opinions that he has been stating. And like I said, the guests that he's bringing on the Joe Rogan Experience. This guy's name, I believe, is Christopher F. Rufo. He's a writer, filmmaker, and activist. He's trying to basically restore the America that we all knew and loved before the wokeness took over. And Joe Rogan, inside of this very, very great conversation with this Christopher guy, Joe Rogan actually torches The View and Whoopi Goldberg and the ridiculous things that they have been saying. So let's check out this clip here from the Joe Rogan Experience.
It is a contest of how we think of our democratic system. And I'm of the mind that the people should decide, not the bureaucracy. And this is a contest where Democrats are saying essentially, we have to destroy democracy in order to save democracy. Democracy has very different meanings in the two usages in that sentence. We have to destroy democracy as we've traditionally known it, electing a...
And by Democrats, he doesn't just mean people like Joe Biden, who is trying to throw his political competition in jail, or the Biden regime. I know that Joe Biden's not necessarily the one calling the shots because he's not even capable of doing so, but he also means, you know, the woke media out there, like Whoopi Goldberg and The View, and they actually go in depth on specifically The View and Whoopi Goldberg and what they have been saying about this whole situation in just 1 second here.
The president through a vote of the people in order to save democracy, which is ruled by expert opinion, ruled by the bureaucracy, and essentially left-wing hegemony, left-wing domination over institutions. And as someone who tries to maximize whatever I can do to push forward on these issues politically, it's not lost on me that if they can wipe out someone like Donald Trump, you know, we're all table stakes relatively.
Yeah.
And they're going to have no hesitation because once they cross the Rubicon, metaphorically speaking, you know, that's when dissent becomes a crime. And we've already seen that. You know, I reported on the kind of gender ideology in schools and, you know, work with some of the parent groups that were trying to mobilize. And they all got put on an FBI list. We know this for sure. A FBI counterterrorism list.
I mean, that's what happened with J6 too. That was literally incited by the FBI, by the government. And everybody who was there, even people who didn't enter the Capitol, everybody who was just present at a rally, they, you know, the FBI visited their house and you know, just to threaten them and let them know, you can't do this. You can't be on that side. You can't support that guy. You can't support Donald Trump. If you do, then there's going to be FBI agents showing up at your house. Like, they want you to feel threatened, and it's not going the other way. Like, there is nobody on the Trump side of things that is going out and attacking and trying to place people in jail who are his political opponents. They're not doing that. Like, and you have people like Bill Maher and Robert De Niro. Whenever Robert De Niro went on Real Time with Bill Maher, saying that if Trump gets elected, he's going to go after them and try to shut down Bill Maher's show and throw Robert De Niro in jail. Dude, when has Trump ever done that? When has anybody on that side of things ever tried to do that in recent history? You know, like in the last 10 years. When has that happened? It's happened countless times on their end, you know, trying to throw people who are their opponents in jail and shut down their shows. It's happened countless times, literally infinite times. It's never happened the other way around, or at least not very often, right? Maybe you could use like the Bud Light example for one example. In my opinion, well-deserved. You know, but it's crazy because they have become so used to what they're doing, the evil stuff that they are doing, that they think whenever the other side wins, those same evils will be done unto them. Ironically enough, it won't. It won't be done unto them.
That was specifically for parent school board protesters. So if you participate in the democratic process, we'll turn you into a criminal. I hate that with every fiber of my being. And whatever threats come my way, whatever lawsuits, whatever kind of investigations come my way, it's worth it. Take me to prison. Fine, let's do this. Because we have to actually confront these questions head on. We need to have people that have enough courage courage without risk is not courage.
What you're saying is not hyperbole.
No, these are facts.
Yeah.
These are documented facts.
And again, because it's a person like Donald Trump, you get people thinking, like, if you could stop Hitler by any means necessary, wouldn't you stop Hitler? And so they equate Donald Trump with Hitler and go, here you go, this is our modern Hitler. Do you see what Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is. Well, you know what Joe Biden could do? Joe Biden, you have to see it because it's so
on TV.
crazy.
She said
on television. Find that now, Jamie, because it's so.
Let's look at a scenario where the Supreme Court says, yes, he has all those rights. He is immune from everything. No. You know what Joe Biden could do since he is presently president?
What?
Whoa. He could throw every Republican in jail.
Yeah.
I mean,
Claps.
he could. I mean, no. This is not a good thing. Because he'd have totally, he can go. What this means is he can do anything.
That's not what it means at all.
Yeah, no.
But the fact that she says that so confidently.
The crazy part is she was using that as a bad example. Like Whoopi Goldberg, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I think that she actually would, she would probably support throwing every Republican in jail. But let's give her the benefit of the doubt for this example. She was actually using that as a bad example. She was saying if Donald Trump gets granted presidential immunity, then, hypothetically, Joe Biden could just throw all Republicans in jail and he would be immune, which is not true. But that's what she was saying. And then there was applause from the audience. So it goes to show you it's not just Whoopi Goldberg and The View that are lost, that are absolutely lunatics and insane. It's all the Democrats. It's everybody who watches Whoopi Goldberg and The View. It's all of these people are lost and willing to do literally whatever it takes, even if it goes against every single law, every single piece of history, everything that America has stood for in the past. They're willing to go against anything and do anything it takes to not get Donald Trump to win, or that side in general, not even just him, but that side in general to win.
Like if you're willing to let Donald Trump use presidential immunity, that means Joe Biden could just go crazy and arrest all the Republicans. Because that's what that means. No, that's not what that means, even a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
no,
you just added a whole bunch of stuff to what that means.
I mean, in fairness, though, The View has to be, if you average out The View hosts, among the dumbest people on television. And so it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth. But
I don't think some of them are dumb.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think Sunny Hostin's
You think it's
dumb.
deliberate?
I think she's ideologically driven, and they have blinders on, for sure. I don't think Sunny's dumb. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it and just fucking.
If you enjoy content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. There's only about 1% of you guys that are actually subscribed that watch this channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
It's nothing
Just
there.
go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing there. Sometimes comics do that.
Yeah, and
fun.
the other question is then, is that representative of a big constituency? I think probably yes.
Well, a lot of
MSNBC
people,
viewers are probably also thinking,
I don't
we
even
gotta...
think the MSNBC viewers. I think
that's
they're a
too
little
far.
bit more sophisticated than that.
Yeah.
This is like low information, blue no matter who, like older housewives who are mad at the world. That's the appeal that Whoopi Goldberg has. Does Whoopi have children?
No idea.
It's interesting too, like really politically motivated older women who don't have children.
Yeah.
They're very specific. Like you can kind of guess the way they think. I would like to see like what the stats are on older postmenopausal women with no children and how they lean politically.
Yeah, college educated. Yeah.
Oh, it is like.
Yeah, no, it's
I bet it's
extreme.
like
Yeah.
my fans being male.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly. It's like ocean blue. I mean, like the depths of that.
Bananas. Yeah. Because the women that I know that are Republican, they're almost all moms. It's kind of wild.
Crazy. It's crazy how that works, right? And it's also crazy that Joe Rogan is the one saying this about, Whoopi Goldberg and just all the people out there who don't have children, who are, it's what he's saying. And I don't know if you guys are picking up on this. I'm sure some of you are, but I don't know if you guys are picking up on this. Basically, what he's saying is that the other side of things, the non-liberal, the non-left, the non-woke side of things is better for the future. And he's saying that because everybody who is moms that he knows, everybody who are moms, are right-leaning, conservative-leaning. They want Donald Trump to win. They don't like people like Whoopi Goldberg. They don't act like that. But all the people who are, they're not married, or they don't have kids. They don't have a reason to hope for a better future. They're just angry in the present, and they want to be pissed off and show everybody that they're pissed off in the present because they don't have a future, or there's no reason for them to worry about the future because they don't have children to leave behind. Then they're leftist, because inherently what this means is that if you actually want a better future, if you hope for a better future, you would be more on the conservative leaning side. That's what Joe Rogan is saying there. So pretty wild, man, coming out of Joe Rogan's mouth, considering, like I said earlier, he used to be a very staunch liberal.
Wow. Well, there's a lot of young, like hot Republican women that are social influencers now too, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun to see like these trends. You see them in things where people realize like, oh, this is a path to success. I'm going to be a black Trump supporter.
Totally.
They just run with it.
Yeah.
You see a little bit of that. But I feel like with a lot of moms that I know that were like hippies. They were like... and then they had kids, and they're like, fuck this, like immediately. Like a buddy of mine's mom, who was like super fucking left-wing, like, full-on leftist. She had kids, and then the riots and COVID and all the chaos. She's like, fuck this. Like it red-pilled so many of those folks. They're just not talking about it. They don't talk about it outwardly because they're real uncomfortable with being ostracized and being yelled at, and especially with like groups of their old friends that are single, that still live in Los Angeles. Especially if you're certain ideological hubs, like fucking Silver Lake. There's like these spots where you can't escape.
Dude, I lived in Topanga Canyon for a year.
Oh boy, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a hub.
I went to look at a house in Topanga Canyon, and the house had...
It's also funny that Joe mentioned there that there's certain paths that people take, right? Like you'd be like a black Trump supporter, and it's just, that's a lucrative path for you to take. And there is a very clear, distinct thing that's happening now where there's like girls who used to do OnlyFans and adult content like that, who are now becoming like Christians and doing Christianity podcasts and stuff. And that kind of makes my blood boil a bit because it's just a grift. They're just lying. And that's becoming a very, very common trend. Like that is the natural progression of things now. They use up their youth and beauty to make adult content, make a ton of money. And then when they're too washed up, they're too old, then they go into like Christianity content. And it's just, that really does make my blood boil. So yeah, another base take from Joe Rogan, man. I used to kind of, I used to feel like Joe liked to ride the fence a lot and, keep his liberal audience, but also throw some red pills in here and there where he couldn't handle it anymore. Now he's just throwing red pills out. He's dropping them from the sky. It's crazy. Let me know what you guys thought about Joe Rogan going off on The View and Whoopi Goldberg there and really their entire audience, and well deserved in my opinion. Let me know what you guys are thinking about Joe Rogan's content recently. I think he's bringing on some great guests. He's dropping some great red pills. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments about the whole situation. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I hope to see you guys on the next one.